But she's a really, really good friend of mine. She's very, very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, Daryl Noble.
Kevin paid the greatest honor as a friend and as a comic when he asked me to be part of a show he was producing and put together this awesome lineup, and then he told us it was his birthday and that was his gift to himself, was getting to watch all of us do comedy on his birthday. I know. Yes, I did. I came all the way from Ridgefield. Ridgefield, it's sort of like, Connecticut's like Downton Abbey. You guys are like the upstairs people. Or, we've got like a thriving, community there. We don't think of ourselves as the poors, But we have 2-car garages, and we make do. I'm just hoping that, like, when the revolution comes, that, like, they don't go by, maybe they go by, like, the worst. Like, obviously, like, Darien has to go. Right? We all know this. I would be closing up shop if I was in there. It's really weird to me that I live in Connecticut. I grew up in Florida. I am trash. Thank you. No, there's so many cool things about like living in Connecticut that I would have appreciated. Like my kids' school, like they go on field trips to like the aquarium and like the science museum. In Florida, like where I grew up, it was basically like where like they looked at the Everglades and they'd be like, what looks so good here is a subdivision, of houses that are all like baby pink, and then we'll do these over here, all aqua, and then we'll just carve out the rest of the land so you can all have swimming pools. Anyway, I didn't like it. And when they take you on field trips in the Everglades, you have to go on an airboat. And it was usually being captained by a very unhappy looking Native American. And we were supposed to be looking at like the half-dead manatees that all of like the like cocaine smuggling cigarette boats that had like cut through the Everglades had like murdered, right? It's sort of like, oh, you can watch the environment die. Like, we actually, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say, but there may or may not have been a corpse we saw floating by on a 4th grade trip to the Everglades. This is also a place where, my driver's ed teacher was yelling at us about how if we ever get into an accident in Miami, you should just assume the other driver is going to run away because they've either stolen the car or they're not here legally. And then 3 weeks later, he was found naked in a crack house. So I'm just like, that's why I don't judge. You never know when that's going to be you. Our time to be naked in the crack house comes for us all, my friends. The difference is if you were a Miami-Dade public school teacher, you would still be back at school on Monday. Yes, so, no, Florida was traumatic, and the other thing that happened to me that was sort of messed up is that my comedy career, I know, sir, I know, I'm like ready to perform like cunnilingus too, which is like, And now everybody has to yawn. Everybody yawn. There's like that. Okay, good. All right. Now all I can think about is cunnilingus. I know, like now I'm looking at you and that's all I see. This is so awkward. I mean, I'm happily married, you know, but now I just see. I mean, I don't know how your head can be a verb, you know. Cunnilingus, is it past perfect? I don't know. Have you ever seen cunnilingus? Any, like, would you like a Yelp review? If you had to give cunnilingus a Yelp review, what would you say?
Thumbs up.
Like maybe one or two more fingers as well. Yes. I dig it. No, that's great. For anyone here who has had or done or been near cunnilingus, I support you. I had a traumatic cunnilingus experience as basically a child. I mean, I was 15. It wasn't like, don't worry, that wasn't, let me just get to that. Yes, I have daddy issues. I figured it out in my like mid-40s. Too old to be a stripper because I have arthritis and I can't get, even with Pilates, I can't get on the pole. So that's why I do this now. What we were talking, yes. So, cunnilingus. No, I was not molested by my father. I will say, if any of you were molested by him, there is a support group and a listserv. Goes back to the 80s. Yeah, no, every family has a creepy uncle, and I couldn't figure out who mine was. And I was like, oh, yeah. Bummer. Don't worry, calls didn't come from inside the house. They like to eat out or whatever they do. So, I wasn't molested by my father. Where were we going? Cunnilingus. Yes, thank you. Okay, so the first time anyone was like, I want to cunnilingus you, right? I'm making it a verb now. It's a thing. Just call it a thing. Cunnilingus-ing. I was at my boyfriend's house. His sister was away at college. I didn't live in the same town. I was allowed to stay over, but like his parents were like monitoring everything. And and one night after dinner, he went into his sister's room, and he's like, I really want to cunnilingus you. You know, the reason why I'm saying cunnilingus so much is because the word, or like the phrase that was used at the time is one that's still like, it's like, eat you out. I want to eat you out. I found that very confusing. Like when I was younger, being like, do they bring forks? What happens? Similarly, as a child, I did think the Underground Railroad was an actual railroad. Yeah, but I do think Harriet Tubman was an amazing human being, and that's all I have about that. So eating out, getting eaten out. Oh, okay, so cunnilingus. Cunnilingus is just so much prettier than eating out. Just always like barbecue, you know? It's like that's when you say eating out. It's like a, you know, like a hanger steak. Like a little rare, but like, and like the good crusty baguette. It's delicious. I mean, not to brag, but my vagina is 47 years old, And she still has her original teeth. And she, I was always like, got this, that like, oh, women, when they get older, they like dry up, they just dry up. And I find quite the opposite. My vagina is constantly cooking things up. There's always something coming out of there. All different times of day. Every time I go to the bathroom, I look and I'm like, like sometimes with dried movie theater butter. Yeah, Jesus. He had some bloody discharge too. Which Jesus were you talking about? Oh, okay, no. I thought you were talking about a kid I grew up with. Sure, it's not the same guy. Do you want me to? Should we just end this now? Should we just stop?
No, you're rolling.
I'm just going to tell you this. Does anyone here have children or dependents of like a sexual type age? Okay. I beseech you, if your child is engaging in some kind of sexual congress in your home, maybe don't try to be so friendly. Like, maybe, I just wish my boyfriend's mom had maybe gotten this, like, warning. Oh, so maybe, like, instead of just, like, busting into a room like you would any day, but instead you make direct eye contact with the 15-year-old girl who, your baby boy's sweet face is being eaten by her hairy snatch, and you two make direct eye contact, and then you back slowly out of the room, and nothing is ever spoken of it again. So, yeah, if you enjoy fellatio, if you're fellating, just remember, like, imagine, like, as good as it could feel, and then just then, like, your mom walks in, and that is my cunnilingus. Every time, I just assume John Jacobs' mother is going to walk in with a stack full of towels and disdain in her eyes. Sarah, thank you. This was better than getting eaten out. Thank you all so much.